Back under the PPE and away we go, round 2.
Money talks why I can't stop talking. You might say I'm fat, but I say I'm bulking. Shot in the leg and quit walking. Fuck pretty me, stop talking. Like I'm outside, but I got work. Think I'm out of place like a damn lost boy. Look up with the rust, this is no. Flex on the ballin' like clowns up.
Hello viewers. Well, it's straight down to business this week. Remember I said last week the plan was to get the front of the chassis off and get the A-pillar off and do a further evolution on that and try and get it finished. Well, that's what we've been up to. But first, a look back at what it was like when we started and how we got it off and the state it was and the work that was done to get it to the state in which it's been on the car for the past few months, because it's worth looking back and seeing how far we've come. What are you doing then, Gordon? At the moment I'm trying to cut out the sealant away from the top of this board. Start again? We're trying to what?
We are trying to take this pillar off the car. So we're removing all the rivets, all the attachment angles, slowly but surely. And eventually just come off.
Hey! Gordon has removed it. The wreck panel then went off to our old friends at Better Blast for a good coat of cleaning up. Okay, what have we got here? Let's start at this end. We've got this, which is the remnants of the old steel outer floor. It's been cut through along here in order to release it. So that needs to be taken off there. We don't need that. There's a lot of rivet holes in here and spot weld drillings and all the rest of it. And yes, I could close them all, but that's just making work. So this black rectangle's coming out. And of course at the top where the insert goes in, it's the same old crashy, bangy, broken stuff. That angle is bent. That'll straighten easily enough. Some corrosion down there. The nut for the check strap has fizzed away to nothing. On this side, well, same old story really. Before any serious repairs went in, the shape was put back in the panel by heat shrinking it. It's a straightforward enough process. You heat a small area till it's nice and red and angry, and then crack it with a hammer, and it knocks the dent out and it shrinks the metal, and as it cools and tightens, it pulls the metal flat again. It's quite laborious, it takes some time, but it was pretty vital to get the thing flat again before we start trying to let new metal in to get rid of those rivet holes. Happy with the shape now. Shape's good, it's good enough anyway to work away from. Next thing I'm going to do is take a section out. Now I was going to take a piece out and do that, and then take another piece out and do that, but I've decided to do it a different way. What I'm going to do is leave the bottom intact, which will just tie that, make sure this can't flap around. There's some bits that just you can't save. We could have welded all those holes up. It would have been a nightmare of trying to get the shape back, so it was through to the other workshop, the workshop where all the mess is made, and a cutting disc, and very carefully slice that piece out so we could make a space to put just fresh new metal in. That's the job. That's the patch let into position. I'm going to go round it now and just put a few little spot welds here and there just to retain it, and then we'll build the spot welds up and a few more, put the strength in, and then I can fully weld it. This was never going to be the last patch, it was only going to be an evolution, and the important thing throughout is not to lose the shape. We could have blasted this in with a MIG set with lots of panel distortion and acres of dressing off welds, but it was done slowly, quietly, laboriously with a TIG. It's a better way. Getting there now. This patch is fully welded and dressed. Shape's been put back, it's nice and flat, and I'm next going to take this section out because there's corrosion in there that's gone a bit holy. I'm just going to take the whole thing out and re-establish these two and re-establish that, so I'll weld it along there and up there, but I'm essentially going to have this whole section out. and put a new piece in. Here goes. Gluing in a patch. We're about there with this panel now, for the moment. It's not finished, there's still a lot of detail to do, but all the bolt fixings are back in, the patches are welded and dressed, a lot of the rivet holes and drillings and what have you have been welded up and sorted out. So I'm just going to leave this interesting little bit of scarring in here, and it's ready to put back for now. It's going on the car shortly to add its strength to the whole structure so we can get at some other bits that frankly are a bit wibbly wobbly. Next time you see that, it'll be stuck to the car. Very happy with that. And that's exactly what we did. We put both of the repaired A-pillars back on, such as they were. We put the roll cage on. That gave the whole thing enough strength that we could turn it over, and that let us get at the floors, which are absolutely shot to pieces and had to be replaced. And once the floors were out of there, we could then put the forward end of the chassis back on, and we could check all the dimensions. And that's how it's been until now. Right, let's see what's planned today. Get these pins out and get the front of the chassis back off.
Yes.
How long has it been on?
Quite a while, actually.
Of course it's going to go on wiggly then. And you've hogged all the pin pot. Oh, I'm going to get loads in that, aren't I? 1, 2. It's John's idea of a joke. I've got one more here. Right, so I'm clear. What you like?
Oh, yeah, one pin was holding it on.
Has it moved?
Yeah, I'm holding it.
Oh, I'll help you hold it then. Ready? Hey. Oh. That was a bit anticlimactic. I thought I was struggling with that.
Yes.
Apparently not. Let's get rid of some of this rubbish. It's about time, because it's only there in case we need it for reference, and I think we've had enough reference out of that. We very nearly learned the hard way on the Bluebird build. Never throw anything out, ever. Parts we might need. That said, with all the wishful thinking in the world, these floors are past it. We're going to keep the aluminium inners. They might go back for the ride, but the outers are absolutely shot. So we just roll them up in a ball and put them in the skip. It means we can sweep off the trolley and get it through in the other workshop and have a big new chunk of floor space, which would be very welcome in this chaotic workshop of ours. With a bit of a tidy up done, we thought we'd get a look at this A-post, because it is finally time to get it back off again.
Why are you taking it off? Yeah.
They're all welds. All of those are welded. Mm-hmm. All of those are riveted. Mm-hmm. That's got to be glued in.
So you're welding it on first.
So this will all have to be set up, and then those welds go in.
Yeah.
Glue and rivets. Glue and rivets. There's repairs to put in up here. I need to fix a bit where Albie got enthusiastic. Look at that. It's like a colander. So I need to get it on the bench and get it finished. Lots of little bits to do. What have I got? 2 bolts to get out of there, and 2 bolts to get out around here somewhere. 13 milli required. As far as I can tell, oh, right, I was about to say, as far as I can tell, that's free.
Yeah, that's just the one back clamp.
Oh, okay, right. I think we need to, should we make a bench to put it on? We used to have one. I just managed to film your underwear there, John. You'll have your designer stuff on, have you?
Yeah, designer.
Designer stuff?
Yes, these must be about
20-year-old.
2 years old now.
Oh, hell.
Actually, that's what colour they used to.
Look at that. Yeah. He'll be buried in them, Joe. Yeah, I think we're going to need a bit of... We're going to need a little bit of bench to get this A-pillar on. We've lived in our workshop for 22 years, and what do? Put the tools away, leave them out, put some away, put them back, fetch and carry. Usually we leave them out and know roughly where they are, but sometimes we just need bench space, and there we have a workbench that was here all along. We moved all the rubbish and we found a workbench underneath it. Look at this. And here's another job that comes out when there's bench space, and only when there's bench space, which is not very often. This is Victor Pelican. Victor Pelican is not new. He's been around for about 10 years. I've been building him for 10 years. And I haven't recorded too much of it because he's an exercise in self-indulgence. But here's a life-size Californian brown pelican made entirely of aluminium. So if you like him, and you want me to do a little bit more, I can show you a bit about how he's built if you're interested. Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, please subscribe too, because that way I know you're out there. And yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit about Victor, and I'll get some work done on him next week. He will be finished one day, I promise. But back to our car. I think you can just finish that, John. That'd be really handy. It's amazing how many bits of filing and swarf and shrapnel and dust and litter it collects in the back of everything. So a quick slurp with Henry just to get that out. Where's that 6mm nut then? In there. Let's have a look on the back, because I'm sure it's fizz. Yeah, it's quite hard to see, but that's been an M6 nut welded in there with a tack weld either side, and it's just rotted away to nothing at all. Should we tackle that first?
Yes.
Yes, let's grind that out and put a new one in. We stuck a nut in there. It was a riv nut, but it's into this piece of material which you can't get on the other side. So that is just an M6 nut TIG welded in. All it does is hold the check strap for the door, but it wasn't there, so now it is. If I chop that out, can you make a patch? Or if I make a patch, can you chop it out?
Yeah.
We've put all the tools away, we've got to go get them out again. It's over there, isn't it? You happy with the fit?
Yes.
Just stick some glue on it. This repair was where a little cluster of rivet holes had been drilled, and it was just a bit much to weld them up individually. So John cut a patch, I cut a chunk out of the doorpost, that was welded in. A couple of little bits of scrap across to position it, and they were broken off later. Then fully welded, and then John set about it with a die grinder just to tidy everything up. It's completely hidden under the plastic when the roof goes back on, but we know it's right. It's a nice little repair. It won't be seen, but we know the job's been done properly. Things to do to finish this. A few holes to weld up here and there. Some still remain. But first I'm going to get this strip of metal off here, because that is double skinned, because that is a piece of the chassis extension that we just cut through, and that needs to go. So I'm going to take that next door and grind it. Gloves at all times. Grinding the unwanted skin off the top of the spot weld is more laborious than cutting the spot weld, but it does always give a nicer finish, because it doesn't matter what you try, you always manage to overshoot a bit with a drill or a spot weld cutter. Okay, that's that skin removed, back to bare metal, and that then welds to the front chassis extension when the time comes. There's another bit to shift, which is around here. That piece of double skin there is remnants of the old steel floor. I'm going to take that off and see what needs to be replaced here. Probably this corner. Albie got a bit enthused drilling spot welds, but you can learn these things. Back under the PPE, and away we go, round two. Right, that's the last of that double skin off. Back to good metal, well, reasonable metal. That bit isn't reasonable metal, that is a load of holes I can get rid of, and the bit where Albie got enthused taking spot welds off. So we'll replace that, and that'll be the last patch to go in. And there's the patch made. That just needs a splash of hot metal glue. Very time consuming putting these patches in, little stitches, check the shape, tap with a hammer, another little stitch, and just keep at it, rinse and repeat. And then once that was done, I thought I better go after some of these holes and get rid of them, because that's getting on for being the very last job. And they're fiddly and time consuming too. You've just got to stick at it. Well, there's the patch welded in. That's all done and finished. The holes have all been welded up. They're all gone. It's still a bit scruffy and needs a little bit of work to tidy it up. The double skins have been stripped away, they've gone on all the sides. And the next job is to install this. This piece goes in here. And it picks up one side of the honeycomb panel. But it has to be welded. Those holes at the bottom, they're all welds. They've been drilled to 532s. The smaller ones above are all 8. And they get rivets, and there's a picture of rivets to go in there too. So I've got to weld this onto here, and you just know that when that's welded onto there, it's going to change the shape of everything, and there is no way that honeycomb panel is going to go back. It's just, that's how life works. Okay, let's get a couple of bits glued down. Pick on the easy ones first, I think. That one looks easy. Oh, remember the 2 things I said to do? Turn your welding set on and put your earth strap on. Yeah, well, I got 1 out of the 2 that time. Try it again. Perfect little spot weld. Now the trick is not to get too much heat in one place at any one time. That is the welding finished. Pretty much all the welding everywhere finished. That is almost there. Except that I've got to put the honeycomb panel back in. Considering the heat, the distortion, the fact this was clamped and it never was before, and how good a fit this was, if this goes back in here first time, it will be an absolute miracle. That bit there is just a little bit snaggy. Turns out it's still got a bit of glue in there from 40 years ago. The good thing about the glue though is that you warm it through and it gives in. That has had half an hour's tweak and fettle, some edges to dress ever so slightly and move a couple of bits of metal around. Again, very slight adjustments, and that now loads and unloads, and now that slots into there, and that is all kinds of elegant bolt screwing. Well, they both did a minute ago. There we go, that fits. We're at the point of rivets and glue. Nearly on the home stretch now. Pin time. Normally what we do is drill all the holes and then take it all to bits and clean all the swarf out, but this time I'm a bit concerned that we drill all the holes and we put the glue in and then we put a few rivets in and then we find that it moves a little bit and all those carefully drilled holes don't line up anymore and we'll have a proper fight on our hands. So we're going to think about this. We might drill some of these once the glue's already in. But either way, we now have a situation where the honeycomb panel goes all the way up to the steel. There's extra rivets, there's a lot of extra rivets. We've got some proper fixings, a proper hold, and when it goes together this time, it's going to be one hell of a lot better than it was the first time around. It's a proper job this time. So after a little bit of thinking, a bit of consideration and a few experimental hole drilling exercises, I've decided there's too much swarf to drill these once the glue's gone. It'll just be everywhere. So I've masked this off. I'm going to drill the rest of the holes and pin them and draw this thing in gradually. And then once the holes are in and we know we've got pins, then John and I will mix up some glue in that time-honoured tradition and we'll get this stuck in and riveted once and for all. We've got some super duper new rivets to put in here. On the left is your Toolstation Screwfix B&Q Special that you'd probably use to fix your garage door. On the right is your proper closed stem stainless steel rivet with a serrated stem so it pulls properly, that you wouldn't want on your garage door because it would upstage everything else that your garage door was made of. Gotta be a little bit careful with the honeycomb not to have any weight on the drill so you don't spear through and hit the skin at the back. Yeah, everything drilled, pinned, and there's a fair bit of swarf, and that would have just got in the way of everything, wouldn't it? So, lemon custard. It should, in theory, slide in from your left to right. Yeah. If it doesn't fit mine, it's something to do with you, because I've had that in and out of there 20 times in the last 24 hours. Whoa, look at that. Just like that. It's always nice when the rivets go in, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What do they pull like?
Very well.
Oh, these rivets are super duper, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I like this game. Of course, you know who's going to be in hoovering these up tomorrow.
Well, I've been putting nice and neat on the bench.
Oh, and I'm just scattering all over the floor. I'll put them nice and neat on the bench, John. Yeah, okay. And there it is, all glued, all riveted, all things present and correct, and I'm going to say, without fear of contraception, stronger than ever it was, and also I believe that is how it should have been done in the first place. It's turned out extremely well. We're very happy with that. So that's it, all but finished. It needs a few modifications, which is not the same as repairs, but we don't know what they are yet. What we do know is that we need them to make it stronger than it was originally and to get it to the kind of standard that we've come to expect down here and everywhere else. So as ever, thanks for watching, nice to see you again, and we'll see you when we come to put this A-pillar back on, which with a bit of luck and a tailwind will be next week. See you soon.